our second and final guest of the evening. Can't wait to have him out here. Let's give it up for Barry O'Neill.
For you guys in particular, there'll be a lot of kind of internal monologue going on. And
you guys as in us?
As in everybody.
Okay.
The point being that you can choose to whether that's going to be positive or negative. Whether you're going to talk to yourself positively, you're going to talk to yourself negatively. And the problem is if you talk to yourself negatively, you're never going to succeed, right? If you don't think you can run 10 miles, you're not going to run 10 miles. If you don't think that you can, win, you're not going to win. So it's a lot about reprogramming that subconscious to make sure that you can think you can achieve. So your barriers are then lifted and you can move forward. There's a lot of people fail because they don't believe in themselves, and that's a lot of what we do is reprogram that subconscious. So if you've experienced a trauma or a bad childhood or whatever, you're maybe conditioned to think that you're not good enough, or you're overweight, or you're not good looking enough. I'm not picking on you.
Barry O'Neill, everybody.
or some assimilation of that. But the point is that when you believe in yourself, that's the first step to anything, right? If you think you can do it, you just got to convince everybody else you can do it. There's somebody from outside of America, from the UK, Americans, to totally generalize, have an obsession with closure. Like they want closure on things. But stuff doesn't necessarily make sense, right? Yeah. If you had a really bad childhood, or something happened to you in your past, or stuff didn't work out, or whatever it would be,
it's going to stick with you.
It doesn't necessarily make sense. Like you can't tie it up in a little bow and say I move on from it. So when you focus on therapy, and therapy is great, don't get me wrong, therapy helps a lot of people, but we're kind of the next step to that. So I want you to focus on who you want to be. I don't want you to focus on what's going wrong, right? So if you're focusing on the past, you're never going to move past it. You're never going to move on from it. If you've ever been in a bad breakup, thinking about that ex-person and looking at pictures of them and checking their Facebook and logging in not that I've been in this situation, but logging in their email, and whatever it's not going to get you past that. Focusing on the past is not going to help you get to the future. And that's really we're like the next step, where we really want you to see what I call the ideal you. Who do you really want to be? What is your goal? And what's standing in your way of getting there? And typically, it's these redundant patterns from the past. Typically, it's stuff that it doesn't really matter anymore. It's not, just because your mom said something nasty to you in 5th grade does not mean that you are not a great tap dancer now. Whatever, Right.
I can't be a tap dancer.
Exactly.
I can do it.
You'll never be a tap dancer, Bam.
I said I can.
Exactly. But it is. But these things stick with us. I mean, these things are imprints in our subconscious, and because as children we're very suggestible, that lasts with us a lifetime. Like people. And that's the thing that you need to remember is, suggest to yourself the good stuff. Focus on that positivity. You are who you want to be, and you are who you focus on. If you focus on not being somebody, that's exactly who you're going to be. If you're focused on not wanting to put on weight, you're going to put on weight. If you focus on, I really want to quit smoking, all you're going to hear is smoking. Remember and focus on the positive. Don't focus on the negative. Even if it's in, I don't want to be that, all your subconscious hears is what's going on, and that kind of base instruction.
You give it up for Barry O'Neill, everybody.
Woo!
Good. Good. Yeah.